Recognize him. And just as we passed, he hollered at me. He knew me. Hey, Parker, come here. And I turned around, old buckskin Charlie sitting on the can. Of all the things to talk about, you know what he said?
What?
Don't care. You know that the song is for? That's a question.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Who? Toyo. Kiowa man named Toyo.
Is that right? Oh my. You think he was part Colombian and part Mexican?
Yeah. The buckskin Charlie.
I'd heard about that. Oh my goodness. Oh.
She was, his wife was a sister too.
Okay, we're out here with Parker McKenzie at Rainey Mountain School, the old Rainey Mountain School, and we're gonna be discussing some of the foundations and some of the ruins here.
How wide the building here must be about, how many feet would you say from this corner to there?
About 25 feet.
Would you say it's about 80 feet long, 60 feet?
Oh, way to the end, huh?
Let me step it off. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bill must be about 90 foot long. 90 feet long, roughly. Probably not as wide. Looks like it's square, isn't it?
Now you say that the one part at the other end, on the west part, is the new part, huh? That's the new part right in the center there. This is the old original right here. That was an addition.
That part that is standing there was built in the fall of 1914. I was already gone. I left Rainey Mountain September 1914. And it's that following few months when they built that addition to the boys' dormitory, and that's where they had their washroom, bathroom, water toilet. During my time, we didn't have no water closet. The girls' dormitory had water closets. The dining hall had 2 quarters upstairs on the 2nd floor for the cook and the baker, and they had a water closet. The principal cottage that you see there, that old frame building, that is a principal cottage. He had a water closet. But the boys' dormitory, we didn't have a water closet until after my time. But it's only 6 years after my time when the school was closed out. Have you You got sound to it?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it just picture.
Yes.
You're catching my voice then, huh?
Yes.
I'm not sure about the year first classes were held. Oh, before that, this was first building constructed was this stone building. It had completed 1890. I think it's 1893 when they had their first classes. Everything was in here, but west of it, they built some frame buildings first for workers to live in, and a two-story building that they built out of frame west of the boys' dormitory, where they had their laundry and other sewing room and things like that. I don't know whether they use that as a dining hall. I think that was a dining hall. And meanwhile, the brick structure that was the dining hall and baker shop all combined, the girls' dormitory was then started. An aunt of mine was one of the first students. She said they all lived in this stone building, and the other two major buildings were under construction. So it must have been 2 more years after that before those were completed. Then south to my right here, was, you see the remains of the brick building there? That wasn't built till 1910. And that was a school, that was a classroom for the higher grades, 4th, 5th, and 6th. 2 of the intermediate grades were in the girls' dormitory, back part of the girls' dormitory. The kindergarten was in another part of the girls' dormitory. The original classroom was right at this southeast corner. There's a large room in there. That's where the original classroom was. But after that was completed in 1910, they converted this into a bedroom for the small boys.
You can still...
And back behind there, all the shop buildings, barns, sheds. I don't know how many horses they... Oh, by the way, now this foundation you see over east, that was also built after my time. That's where they had the classes.
The foundation?
Yeah, that was built after my time. Then they began to use this old classroom as more of a commissary. Then all the classes were then moved into that. It was a frame building. And it's only in use 6 years, and then the school was abandoned, discontinued.
Parker, was this a big courtyard out here, out here?
How's that?
Was this a big courtyard?
Yeah, in between the principal college and these 4 main buildings are in straight line. In between was a campus, kind of an oval shape. I have it shown here on the map. Now here are the 4 major buildings: girls' dormitory, dining hall, boys' dormitory. That's the stone building. This is the brick building. The frame house you see falling down is this one. In between there was a driveway, kind of a campus. There's some trees and stuff like that.
Put that in the shade a little bit there. Get a little bit of a view of it. Old Rainy Mountain School.
A is girls building. B is the dining hall. C is the boys dormitory. That's boys dormitory out of stone. All this rubble you see here was a boys dormitory. And D was the originally classroom until this building was constructed. And that's extra. I got it marked extra. That's where that foundation is.
Yeah. Up here. Up here. Okay.
Yeah, the barn's over the southwest corner.
Over here.
This open yard. Part of the ground, open spaces in between the building. Wasn't anything. These are coal sheds, outhouse. These are employees' quarters. This commissary. It's an old slaughterhouse. Originally, the school butchered their own beef. They had a slaughterhouse right there.
Uh-huh.
Later on, during my time, Goldenbowl got to be a railroad point about 1890, about the time I was born. And from then on, they bought their meat out of stockyards. Oklahoma City had it shipped daily. Not daily, but about twice a week. And they had a man contracted, and he brings the meat to the school. There were no refrigeration of any kind, but they had a basement underneath the kitchen where they kept the meat.
Oh, yeah?
They couldn't keep it very long. They had to use it pretty fast.
Did they have a smokehouse? A smokehouse? Did they have a smokehouse?
No, they didn't have no smokehouse. They kept potatoes, things like that, in the basement. And coal was used almost for cooking. For baking, though, they used wood. The government would contract for wood with Indians. They'd bring it in, pay them for bringing the wood in. Coal was shipped in and was hauled in usually by Indian labor that have equipment to haul it from Goldenbowl. That's about 5 or 6 miles in the northwest direction, about 5 miles. And there are 2 coal sheds. These 2 sheds in there where they store the coal. It usually lasts about a year. I was thinking all the bricks gone, but still here. Now this is a commissary west end of this building. 2/3 of it was a large classroom, just one big room. That's where we have our assemblies in this large room. There's a little platform on the west side.
Looking east, right there. Going west. There's the northwest corner of this building. Still standing pretty straight, isn't it? Just over there. Rainy Mountain. Looking north, there's that addition to that boys' dormitory. And there's the cornerstone out front there.
I'll take one of the bricks for souvenir.
Hey, how long's that tree been standing over there?
Huh?
How long's that tree been standing over there?
I wasn't there. Probably grown since my time. It's not very big. We had some locusts We'll get home, show you a picture, show you some of the trees. We didn't have too many trees because this country out there is not very good for cultivating trees.
Yeah.
That's used to be a road across there. Oh, by the way, we had a board fence clear around on the south side of this building, beyond the girl dormitory, behind this principal cottage.
There was a fence, a wood fence.
Board fence. Oh, that's... Yeah, I got it shown here. Board fence. Board fence. The barns were outside the board fence, but...
They're all the way around, huh?
I don't know, how many acres would you say inside there? About 5, 6 acres, 10 acres? The board fence was beyond that cedar there. I mean that mesquite tree.
How many times did you climb up to the top of that hill?
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, over on the south side, where that brushy is or something,
Yeah.
that's where the water storage tank was. It built like a cistern, they dug in there. And instead of having a high tank, well, that's what they used for the water system. The pump station was south of the mountain there. It operated by steam. Had a big dug well underneath the building, and water is pumped from that pump house up to the hillside tank. From there it's piped to the school grounds. I don't remember whether we had any fire hydrants or not. I don't believe we did.
Did you ever have a fire?
No, we never had one all the years I went here. I never heard of a fire, but despite the fact that we used kerosene lamps, we had no electricity. All through the years, the life of the school, there was no electricity. They used kerosene for lighting, coal for fuel, for heating. Girls' dormitory had a semblance of a hot water system, but my wife said they hardly ever had any heat in the dormitories. Wasn't very effective for heat purposes. But the rest of the building is all heated by stoves.
Huh.
That's a window.
Did you?
Made of bricks. During fall 1910, I was still in 3rd grade, I guess, in the girls' dormitory. After 1 year there, I moved in over here.
How many boys were over here? How many students?
Total student body usually was about average about 160 to 175.
Yeah.
That's average. About half boys and half girls. Ranging in age from about 6. A lot of them don't start till they're about 7, some of them 8 before they start. And we've had some as old as probably 18 and 19 years old.
You met your wife out here when you were younger, or did you have a sweetheart? Did you have a sweetheart?
No, I don't talk about that. All the older boys, they had school sweethearts, sure. Yeah, they all had the older boys. They all had sweethearts. Most of them had sweethearts. Everybody always know which girl is whose sweetheart and so on. Girl know which boy is which girl's boyfriend. We didn't say boyfriend in those days or girlfriend. We used the word sweetheart.
That's better.
I imagine the whole campus covered about somewhere between 10 and 15 acres, just enclosed by the fence.
Who were some of your teachers?
Huh?
Some of your teachers. Your teachers.
We had 3 teachers. We had kindergarten teachers from kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade.
What was their name?
I remember my kindergarten teacher's name was Anderson. Forgot her first name. I always knew her as Miss Anderson. And intermediate class, I was still in a girl dormitory. I was there a while, probably a year. We had a Indian woman, Colorado graduate. Her name was Roxanna Smith. She's from some tribe up in Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
One of us, in northern India. And then after I got into the higher grades, we had a teacher named Flora DeLay. And that's the only teacher I had in my higher grades until I left Rainey Mountain. 6th grade was the highest they had.
Oh.
After you finish 6th grade, you either quit school, get married, or you go to Chilocco, Haskell, Colorado, Phoenix. My wife and I went to Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh.
I was there 3 years. My wife was there 5 years. I was a dropout. I left before I finished. She stayed there till she graduated. Then as soon as she came home, I grabbed her. But after I came back to Oklahoma, for a little while, I went to Mountain View High School. I went to Oklahoma State Prep Department for 1 semester. I dropped out. I finally wound up another year of school in Oklahoma City at Central High. It was the only high school then in Oklahoma City. Outside of Capitol Hill, there were two high schools.
Yeah.
Capitol Hill and Central High. I was at Central High. When I was at Phoenix, I was at the Indian School 2 years. 3rd year, I went to a city high school, where I stayed at the Indian School. Phoenix Union High. They probably got a dozen high schools now. At that time, there's only one high school. The city was then about population of about 75,000. Now it's almost 1 million, or somewhere around close to 1 million. Phoenix.
What was the superintendent's name?
During my first years, we had a woman principal. We didn't call her superintendent, principal.